Come with me as we venture to the underside of the Lancia. Down here at the oil pan, there is a problem with the gasket, as in it is old and it is failing. All along here, we're getting a lot of oil leak, edge, oil seepage, oil weepage. So you're going to be removing the oil pan from the bottom of the engine. This here is like an extension off the bottom of the crankcase. It's the official like oil sump. And there's gasket for that too, but we're not touching that one today because the engine would need to come out, or the transfer case and differential off the back side at the very least. So we're going to do this lower plate gasket. Bunch of 10 millimeters all the way around. We're going to undo all those, drop it down, see what oil leaks out, because there will still be some even though it's been dry for a while. And yeah, it'll be a grand old time. I really wish I had a pillow right now. That would make this comfortable. I would love one of these cars. Gotta work my way there. I hope someday I get one. Well, I got a couple of my favorite prying devices. A couple of thin blade screwdrivers, little panel clip pry bar. It's got a nice little bend to the neck. You can't hide your prying bars. Anybody? No? Okay. That sounds like it. Sounds like a gentle release. Heck yeah. Oh, she's down. There's some oil in there, but not a ton, as can be seen. I angle this and dump whatever's in there out. Well, I'll just flip it upside down, actually. Not gonna hurt nobody. What's this? Huh. I'm gonna analyze that in the light. A little silicone sealant, maybe? Something. Down by the pickup area, pickup screen. It's pretty clean up in here, which is nice. There's just a deflector up there and some pickup tubes and return tube kind of stuff. That gasket definitely seen better days, so I'm gonna have to work on cleaning it off of the edge. Let's see how nice it. Oh, it might. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's very gratifying. That is very, very gratifying. Check that out. Ooh, yeah. That's nice. It's the little things that we live for. And that peeling off so nice and cleanly. Oh, yeah. Hey, Let me see what this is on my finger. That little booger bit. I gotta figure out what that is, because it was at the bottom of the filter screen. Hopefully it's just a little nib of silicone or something that got in there and jogged around. I don't want it to be metal or metal paste. No. Nope. Don't. No. Gen Z, don't put it in your mouth. Don't put it in your mouth, Gen Z. Do not keep it out of your mouth. That's really close to my head. So, I did a full analysis of what was on my finger from the oil filter screen in the oil pan. And not filter screen, but pickup tube screen. It is a filter of sorts. It's a pickup tube screen. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is, full analysis of finger junk. Conclusion is, it is Teflon tape. Now, sometimes people who don't know any better use Teflon tape on things to stop leaks. And I say don't know any better because it can be used in certain places, but not in others. It doesn't hold up to oil. Teflon tape is for plumbing. It may hold up to coolant. It depends on the formula. But it definitely doesn't hold up to oil. So don't use Teflon tape on your oil drain plugs and your oil fittings. Now, right above my head, right here, there is a fitting with Teflon tape on it. It is the drain plug for the transaxle. And so that makes it the gear oil drain plug. And that has Teflon tape on it. And I'm betting you that if you look at this oil pan and you look at the location of the drain hole, which is right there, and you look at where that drain hole is, here's the screen, right? Here's the drain hole where my finger is. Look at that, pointing at that screen. And that's right where I found that Teflon tape sucked up on the bottom of that screen. So, here's what I'm saying. I bet you anything that Teflon tape was on that drain plug by the same rapscallion that put it on the gearbox drain plug, that did not realize that Teflon tape don't hold up to Jack Bull Honky. Yeah, don't use that stuff. I'm going to clean this oil pan. I'm going to get out from under the Lancia. Give it a clean and a scrub-a-dubba. I got to clean this lip up, even though it peeled off nice and smoothly. I just got to get residue off. New oil pan seal. We're going to maybe sauce it, I think. I think we'll sauce it with something appropriate. Because, hey, we have the technology. Clean up all the hardware, because that's all oil saturated too. Shameful. Bolt it all up into place. We'll be done with the bottom side of the engine. Yoink. Well, we have a problem. Not the normal problem, though. Everything's actually great. It's a me problem. I cannot reinstall this. This is a very nice vehicle. This is not the oil pan of a very nice vehicle. It's been bumped a few times. There are a couple of dents on it. That's fair. But for the most part, this is just crap paint. Crap factory paint. And it hasn't held up over the years. It's flaking off. It looks awful. It's starting to rust where the paint has peeled. Yes, there's a little scrape where someone hit something or a rock jumped up, but this can't be reinstalled. I cleaned up the inside of it. It's nice and pretty. This needs to be painted before reinstall. So I'm going to blast this. I have a high temperature primer. I will primer it so that it will not do this again, because this is just bare metal with paint on it, which is why it didn't stick. Whatever their formula was, it wasn't a good one. Once it's all dried and cured and back to its factory beauty, but better than factory because we're going to make sure the paint sticks, I will then bolt it back up and carry on with the rebuild. But this is a detour into the world of making it nicer and touching it once. Ta-da! There it is. The Lancia Delta's oil pan. Fiat! 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 I don't know. I don't know why I do these things. So clean, you could eat off of it. I'm gonna look at you. I see you. All right, enough playing around. It's very clean, it's very dry. It's very much prepared for paint. Primer first, then high temp paint. Then it can be reinstalled onto the engine. Away we go. So here we have the high temp. There's a bug right in the middle of it. Of course, there's a bug in the middle of it. Can't do anything without a bug. Look at him. Look at him just hanging out there, just being a bug. Come on, dude. So this is a high temp primer that we've got going on, which is super cool. Couple more coats of this, and then we'll do a high temp semi-gloss black. When I started out in the bike shop, I was surrounded by anal retentive, obsessive compulsive mechanics. Really nice guys. I loved them. They were awesome, actually. And I learned a lot, despite what they would tell you. They were very hard on me. I don't know. Hey, that's how you learn, right? Well, there's some idiosyncrasies in cycling that translate actually to upper echelon automotive. The perfection, the chasing after, and the inside jokes. So like alignments of things, right? I always put the text on belts so that you can read the text if you're standing at the engine bay. I'm not going to put the text on the belt the opposite way so that as you stand at the engine bay, you got to look at everything upside down. Style points. That's what I would call it. I would call it style points. I have chosen my style points. This is the AC belt pulley, and at the heart of this pulley is this bearing. Now then, there's a snap ring that holds this bearing, and there is text on the face of that bearing saying FAG, manufacturer of the bearing, the size of the bearing, yada yada, made in Germany. Where to position the gap in the snap ring? Manufacturer name, that's one option. It's good. Snap ring, FAG, right in the middle, right? Looks great. Looks very pro. However, I love working on German cars. I also love working on Italian cars. And it's a fun joke to me. And the maximum level of style points. In the gap of the snap ring. Yeah. I went with Germany. I'm proud of myself. Style points. Don't forget that, actually. That is an important thing in mechanicking. It's also an important thing in enjoying life. At whatever level of life enjoyment you choose, whether it's to get your hands dirty and bust your knuckles on an Italian car that shouldn't be worth as much money as it is, but because of all different things and rarity and scarcity and the fact that it's an incredible vehicle when it's running correctly, not to denigrate this incredible vehicle that's not quite running yet. Point is, no matter what you enjoy, style, it's a big part of it. I think we take for granted style. A lot of times it's given to us. You go to the store, you just buy your own clothes, whatever looks right to you, whatever you appreciate, right? That style is provided to you. But this, no one will probably ever notice that I did that. What a shame. But I'll know. And that is what makes me insane, certifiably insane. Absolutely. I really need to find something to do with my life. Okay, I'm going to continue assembly. You know that moment in life when you go to install the AC belt on the Lancia Delta Evo Integrale that you're working on, and you've done such a nice job of putting everything together, and then it dawns on you, well, let me show you. I installed the drive belt because I was moving and grooving, and installed the drive belt tensioner, and I was like, all right, now I can throw the drive belt on. Well, Yes, I can, but the AC belt goes in this groove right back here. Right there. I got to take the dry belt off just for a second. Put this little loop past it. Hey, I'm only human. I'm not a dog. What's up, you? What's up? What's up, girl? What's going on, Fluffkin? There you go. Problem solved. Was never really a problem, just so much as I wasn't thinking. So, AC compressor goes right about here. There's a tensioner for the belt, and then goes right here where my finger is and keeps the belt taut. And yeah, in other news, the fuel pressure regulator is fully installed. Here's the anti-abrasive sleeving that I put on that lower fuel hose, and you can see where that lower fuel hose runs to, all the way down and over there. Crank position sensor is plugged in and happy. Well, I don't know if it's happy, but it's plugged in. Fuel pressure vacuum tubing is making its little S-bend over to the inlet manifold. Plastic plug wire beauty shroud. Very delicate, as we know from years of having wrenched on these cars. This is a delicate one, and there's a clip there and a clip there, and goes in the slot there and the slot there. And this hose, I suppose I could run through and under while I got you here. Doink. I might want to run that under this. One-handed stuff. Is it enjoyable? Depends on the stuff I'm talking about. Rated PG-13. There we go. So that'll connect there. I'll connect it there when I'm feeling like it. Just checking the S-bend on that. We're okay, we're in good shape. It is really coming along. I'm excited. Got to install the AC unit, a couple more things. Got a lot of turbo hosing over there on that side to connect up to the Pureberg valve, which is hanging out right here. That's the Pureberg valve right there. And that helps control the boost levels of the turbo for various different function. I mean, dude, it is a machine. Very exciting. Lots of fun. Still waiting on the oil pan to dry. There's some dust in it, sure, but it's pretty. And most importantly, the paint is not flaking off any longer. It's got a high temp primer layer. It's a high temp paint. Yeah. Now it can go on the bottom of the engine. It's all cleaned up on this side. And that's that. I feel good. I needed to be able to feel good in order to... There's fingerprint on it. Can't be getting it all fingerprinted now, can we? I need to feel good. I needed this to be a presentable part that I feel okay. Better than okay. I feel great about installing this on this car now. So it's all nice and clean under here. I've cleaned the lip fully all the way around of the sump, and that's where the oil pan will bolt up to with the gasket. So it's all ready for that. Want to look up inside the crankcase? Connecting rods. Ooh, fancy. crankshaft. So much fun. There you go. I got smarter. Maybe a little bit. I brought myself a pillow. So, got the gasket all sauced up here. And all the bolts are cleaned, ready to go back in. Got a little bit of a time limit on this particular type of saucing. So, I'm gonna attempt to make this a one and done. Operation. I get it. There's a couple of cutouts for this mount that are fighting me. I've got to grab a little flathead screwdriver and clear this one mount, and then we should be in good shape. So I thought that I had indexed under this mount fully, but this one part of the plate isn't going under it. So I'm just gonna try and get it so it does. There we go. And as you saw, one of the bolts was not threaded, just dropped down. Now, however, we are all lined up and everything is going well. Despite having the pillow, I've only just realized I can use it. It's not really a pillow, it's my creeper with a headrest. But I'll take it. Okay. Do some facsimile of a crossing pattern here. Now we just snug them up all the way around. Okay. Now we're gonna go around and take all of them to torque. Now, there's a lot of ways to mark bolts. I start by putting a dot on the head, but I'm gonna have to swing back around and recheck torque because there's so many of these and they affect each other's torque as you tighten it up around the oil pan. So, I just put a dot on the head and then afterwards I put a line that indicates that it's at final torque. Now we're back to where we started. So this is the torque check. And now I can put a line on it from my red dot down the washer that indicates that we are at torque. I'll go around all the others and do the same. And for the sake of style points, I'm making my lines all facing the same direction. And it's the direction in which I went around and torqued. So there you have it. These bolts are notorious for loosening. So that's why I'm taking and making the line as opposed to just a dot on the head or a twin dot on the head. They do have a retaining washer that's knurled and all kinds of stuff happening. They still like to loosen up. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. Road vibration, the way it's designed, the big puffy gasket that's under there, it's just a thing. Hey man, it's just a thing. Now I got a nice floor rag here, and that's gonna allow me to go around and wipe off the special sauce that's on here. And I'll clean everything up. I can't even see that side, but I can see it in the camera. It looks pretty bad. So I'll clean it all up and then we'll go from there. Well, I'm gonna grab a little solvent, clean up the rest of that nasty, make it look refined. Whatever gasket squeeze over there is. I do want to use the gasket. I know some people will not use the gasket and will go direct, but this oil plate is not made for that. This oil plate is made for a gasket. So no matter what, we want to use that gasket, even if it squishes and squeezes. Have you ever thought no one ever uses one of those wrenches? Like this type of a wrench? Well, all silliness aside, there's a time and a place for this type of a wrench. This particular one is an 11 mil on one side and a 13 mil on the other side. It's a snap-on wrench, and it is CXM 1113, in case you would like to order one of your own. Now then, the reason why you might use this bendy wrench is because you're working on a Lancia Delta or a very compact car, compact engine bay, a very annoying vehicle, the type of thing where you got to break your wrist 7 times to get to where you want to go. I have a Hazit wrench in the place of where I was just using this wrench. I will show you that Hazit wrench, and I will tell you the part number for that, because it may help you in your travels mechanically, especially if you're working on one of these babies. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm installing the AC compressor. And there it is, that cute little guy. And there's a bolt on this side of things, right down here. You can see that bolt head right off the tip of my finger. And that bolt head you can get at with your regular old straight box end, open end wrench, right? So, and I, in particular, I'm doing this through the camera, so it's gonna be harder for me to see, but I get after it with the box side, right? Something like, we'll go this way. Oh, wrong bolt. Something like that, okay? So there you can see where it's going down to, down by the firewall. Maybe I can give it more light. Let's see about giving it more light. All right, you can see where that wrench is diving down now, right? Okay, so that one's easy enough to get to. And these two here are easy enough to get to. Those are on that support bracket that goes to the intake manifold by the fuel pressure regulator. Fuel pressure regulator, support bracket, bolts on the back side. But in the case of this particular design, the hardest button to button, once more, is on the back side of the AC compressor. Follow this wrench with your line of sight, if you can. It is right. Can I even get my finger to it? It is right there. Okay? I've got a wrench on it right now. So that is in a maddening spot. There's the AC clutch. Spinning. A pulley wheel with the clutch on it, I guess. And you can see there's not a lot of swing room, and there's not a lot of space that you can get at this. Right? You can't get a socket over it, certainly. So that is when people use these fun and bendy wrenches. And check this out. I've got this Hazit wrench on here, which has a conveniently notched little other side to it. And I can now take it down fully tight to torque. Okay, I already had that snugged up tight, so I just left it on there to show you. Now watch when I take this wrench out for the big reveal. Oh, that's right, it's a bendy wrench. Look at that. Look at that bendy wrench. Yep. There you go. Oh, it's actually not a Hazit wrench. This one is a Williams. Well, I wonder what we're going to do with that information. It's a Williams Special Super Wrench. Go find yourself one of these on eBay. This is a 13 millimeter on both sides, made in the good old United of the States, right here, land of freedom. And you will be able to get at that bolt. There's the bolt head. Look at the wrench. Hard to do through the camera. Look at it. Fits over that so nice. Tight. Take it off. Pull it out. Always remember to pull out with your bendy wrench. There you go. So now you're aware of what these wild and weird bent wrenches are. Next time you go to somebody's garage sale or you happen by them wherever you find a bent wrench laying on the ground, as it were, pick it up. Ship it to me if you don't want it. I'll take it because I'll use it. You're gonna need it. More candy. More candy. More stuff. Check this out. This turned out beautifully. This is the exhaust manifold. This is where your turbo bolts up. This is the exhaust manifold for the Delta. Oh, it is fully ceramic coated by my buddy John. Check this out. He did the downpipe too. How awesome. Look at that. Turbo manifold downpipe. Beautiful. Incredible work. My buddy John at JTS Coatings and Cycles, who also runs the YouTube channel Wrenching Wrecked. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. He is a great dude. He's always up to fun stuff. And he does all of my powder coating and ceramic coating for me. He did an absolutely superb job on these. And now I can bolt them up to the turbo and bolt them up to the car and continue assembly. I've been waiting to continue assembly. Also, I got a dope shirt from him. Look at that. Yeah. Right? Life is good. It's a gorgeous sunny day today. Addie has gotten dog fur all over my nice black shirt. She's hanging out with me. I have manifold. I go wrench now. Doing turbo stuff. Got surfaces and gaskets, and this gasket has a little copper section in the middle of it, so it's gonna act as a crush washer more than anything. And for that reason, I'm not going to run any sauce on it. Normally I'd sauce them up, but this is not sauce required. And I know what you're thinking. Hey Brandon, you got such a nice manifold for this thing. Why didn't you get the impeller side of the turbo housing ceramic coated? I didn't want to take it apart. It's a nice turbo. It's never been taken apart. It's in good shape. Check tolerances. Took it to the professionals. Had them check tolerances. It don't need nothing. Don't mess with a good thing. It would be pretty though, if it were all. I know. It's okay. It'll be fine. Gonna Newton meter these up. My benches are so covered with stuff that I'm actually working on this rolling cart right now because I am so inundated with work that I have not been able to clean properly It seems like that's just always the case. But I swear to you, occasionally, I actually do clean. And when I do, I feel good about my life and the cleanliness of my shop. Right now, I've not had that luxury. Oh man, I came within 0.1 of the torque spec there. There we go. Beautiful. Check it again, because we're crushing a gasket and compressing the crush washer at the center of the gasket. So, all nice and fixed up and ready for getting its giddy up on. All right, now then, while this thing is all apart, it also makes the most sense to install the piping for the coolant inlet and outlet. Inlet and outlet, inlet and outlet. I'm in a weird mood today. I will admit that. My head is in the arch of the beetle. Got bugs on top of bugs here, by the way. Addie's right over there staring me down. Anyway, let's not get her riled up. Where were we at? Coolant, inlet, outlet stuff. Okay, yeah, right. Yes, this pipe goes down in here. Got a nice little reference image that I'm going to look at. And I'm just going to line it up and kind of compare it. Make sure that it looks like my reference image, and it sure does, but everything's a whole lot cleaner. And now I'll tighten that pipe down where it is. I'm going to go grab a wrench, and we're going to scoot her down. Told you I was in a weird mood today. I'm not taking things too seriously. I mean, torque specs, taking those seriously, you got to take those seriously, always. 22 millimeter wrench. Here's the thing, you're not going to be able to get a torque wrench on this, really, because you can't get a socket on there. And I'm not removing this. I'm not going to do it. Nice turbo, don't need to do it. 22 millimeter wrench fits these guys just fine. All right. Next thing to know, crush washers. Make sure they're new. Don't reuse the old ones. Yes, they'll crush more times than one, and you can't, but you don't know if you're the first guy to reuse it or the second or the third or whatever. So don't go messing with that game. Lastly, and most finally, and most importantly, this is going to want to move as you're tightening it. So you got to kind of set things up so that it moves. You don't want to bend this tube or whatever. I'm going to jam my thumb in between it so that I can hurt myself. It's always a great move. I just want to make sure that I'm coming out in the right spot. Now I'm going to let it walk a little. And now I'm going to put my hand back on it for support. I don't want it to walk. I'm going to tip the whole turbocharger on end. Now I don't want it to walk, so I'm going to stick a wrench probably between it. It's not. I want something that's the right thickness. That's too thick. This is a real Goldilocks situation. Oh yeah, 1/4 inch ratchet extension is my ticket to paradise. I got 2 tickets to paradise. All right. I'll leave that in there. And as I begin to take this closer to torque, it fell out. It fell out right at the wrong time. Come on. Come on, man. Don't play me like this. You gotta stay in place. Okay, there we go. Now it's in place. Now I can torque this down. It's not real torque. It's just, you know, hand anger torque. Just leverage situation. Torque. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go until it leaves an indentation in your hand. Something like that. That one right there. And then you know that you've sufficiently hurt yourself and it's torque tight. There's probably other ways of doing that, but that's how I did it. weird mood, like I said. Just in a weird mood. Okay, gonna look at my reference image again. I think I nailed it. Nailed it. Oh yeah, that's really good. Check that out. Reference image. It's perfect. It's exactly what I've got going on. All right, I'll show you guys. Here we go. Turbo. See how that pipe goes down right in between there and there? To the side of my thumb, right by my thumb there, in between there and there. I wanted to make sure I was at the right distance before I put this thing on the car, because real pain in the butt if you put this on the car and then you're trying to tighten it. I mean, it's just not even really possible in certain spots and locations to get the swing room on the wrench and all that kind of stuff. For example, this is behind everything. Impossible to get to. It's just how they designed it. I don't make the rules. Now, this side, this flange, goes to the oil feed line, which is gonna bolt on here, something like that. We're not gonna bother with that right now. We've got to put the manifold, we got to bolt up the manifold first. There is a coolant port that goes in the front here. And I suppose I can wait to do that one because that one stares you down when the turbocharger is bolted up and on the car. So I'm gonna have a quick look at the car, make sure I can wait on that one. That's this little twisty snafu snorkel. This pipe, this guy here. That's what I'm having fun with. Okay, so man, it's a good day when you get to get so close to completing a project and you're working with really beautiful looking componentry. This is still a little bit nasty, I'll give you that, but I'm still just very thrilled. I keep looking over at this ceramic coated, gorgeous exhaust manifold and I'm just like, yeah, I get to be the guy that installs that. I do have to, I do have to chase the threads on this. There's a little bit of ceramic coating on that. Maybe I will go and grab a thread chaser and do that now. I almost do it by hand. Honestly, probably all the way down. It's just a little overspray of the coating. So the nice thing about ceramic coat on this exhaust manifold is that this is so close to the radiator, their ceramic coat will help to box the heat in, which will raise your EGTs a couple of ticks. Fair enough. However, it's not that big a deal because it's gonna cut the engine bay temperature down by a lot. And I would rather have these cars have a little bit higher exhaust gas temperature at the turbo by a smidge, it's not going to be a ton, then set off too much of it right back at the radiator and run the whole dang thing so warm that you get another head gasket leak. I think I might have a salad for lunch. It's not very fitting with how great this day is, but could be a good salad. Just saying. I'm getting hungry. Thinking about lunch. All right, here we go. Time for the bolt up. Gasket. Is there a top side and a bottom side? Install them first, thread them up. Thread them up, thread them down. Rawhide. If a Delta was in a Western, like a spaghetti Western, like a modern spaghetti Western, where like, would it be the villain car? No, it'd definitely be the hero car. Modern spaghetti Western, but instead of riding a horse like a real Western, the hero drives a Delta. Like kind of Mad Max-ish, but not really. I'd watch that movie. I just made it up, so I'd hope I'd watch it. Okay, but the real question is, What would the hero's name be? Or would the car have a name? Max is already taken. So is Mad Max. Can't go with that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Spaghetti Western Delta movie. Man, I really hope somebody makes that. I want to watch that now. What car would the villain drive? That's what I want to know. It's a good... Am I framing? The spaghetti western idea. Modern. I also want to know what car the villain would drive. Let me know what you think on that too. Please. I think I can get a socket straight down on that one. These other ones though, they're not going to be socketable. Not going to be able to socket to me. See what I did there? Let me go grab a 17mm socket. That should work. Put that on there. Grab a socket. Look at that. That couldn't have been better. Not if you designed it like that. They're tight. It's dressed. It's beautiful. Manifold connected to turbocharger. Should probably paint up some bolts here while I've got them accessible. The factory went with yellow on these, so that's what I'm going with too. Almost time for a new one of these. I'm an artiste. I paint with my pen. I think that's about all that's required there. And just looking it over and considering it all, I think the rest of this bolt up I will do on car, because everything will be facing at me and exposed, and I should have easy access to it all. So I'm gonna go hang this whole assembly up on the car, make sure of that fact, and if I need to do any other assembly work off car, I'll take it down and finish that up here. But I think from here forward, it's going on the vehicle.